Okay, here's an ultra quick tutorial on how to make your own podcast. I'm going to begin by clicking login, and your login is student@techbrarian.com. Password is student1. And you click login, and you're going to enter the studio. Once you're there, click podcast. You're going to add a new track, and that's going to be an audio track. Make sure you're wearing headphones. Click voice. So in this case, we have our mic here, and I'm going to start recording. When you're recording a podcast, you should think of the name of your podcast. And if you're going to interview someone, or if you want to speak intelligently, you should have a little bit of a script going. So let me start here. Hello, and welcome to the Issue podcast starring me, Dr. Lahana. We'll be talking about a ton of issues in this podcast, and our first issue is going to be the fact that people who are walking the streets of New York City are not wearing masks, and they're not practicing social distancing. That's something crazy to me, and so we're going to investigate and talk more about it. So now I'm going to press stop, and this is the playhead, as it's called, and we're going to drag the playhead here, and we're going to listen to our recording by pressing the play. Hello, and welcome to the Issue podcast starring me. Okay, I'm pressed stop. Now, I want to have some introduction music to my podcast. So I'm going to click the loops button here, and I'm going to find some interesting way to begin my podcast. All right, good enough. And I'm going to drag it here, and let's see how it sounds. Hello, and welcome to the Issue podcast starring me, Dr. Lahana. We'll be talking about... Okay, now if I want to shorten it, you see these two lines that appear here? It's like a cross. I'm going to move that until right when I want it to stop. So let's hear it again. Press play. Hello, and welcome to the Issue podcast starring me, Dr. Lahana. We'll be talking about... Okay, now say I want to continue on my podcast. So I can click on the mic again and place the playhead where I left off. I'm going to begin with an interview of someone who has been walking around New York City, Ruby Lahana. Now I'll press stop. Now say if I messed up, let's try this again here. I'm going to press record again. She has a lot of experience with Jabberwockies. She has a lot of experience with walking. So let's listen to this. She has a lot of experience with Jabberwockies. She has a lot of experience. Okay, now say I don't want the part about Jabberwockies. One thing you can do is you can place the playhead where you want to cut something out. So now I'm going to click Edit, Split Region. That makes a cut, and now I can delete this by pressing on it and clicking Delete, and then bringing this over. She has a lot of experience with walking. So in this way, you can edit out the parts you don't like and keep the parts that you do want. And the last step is going to be to save your work. You're going to click here to name it. So the issue podcast, E1, episode 1. And now I'll click save. And it's going to be mixing it. And then you're ready to download it. You can press this arrow, which will let you download it. Then simply log on to your classroom. This is obviously an extreme fast forward mode. You can go on to Techbrarian Journal to see a whole video on how to upload your Soundtrap. And that's it. Can't wait to hear what you make.